welcome back. Welcome back to the Sports Perspective TV. As always, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate you taking your time out to watching the video and interacting with the videos as well. So in this one, we see where it was a history-making performance from Romario Shepherd in the IPL. You know, he did big things. You know, made a huge impact with his batting in the match for his team RCB. So we're going to be looking at his performance, telling you about the record that he created, and also looking at the overall game and the result as well. And also we'll be sharing details about the second round of the Women T20 Blast. Second round of matches was played. So we're going to be sharing the results and the scores from those matches with you. Also talking about the performances of the players as well. So just stick around to the end of the video as we get into the details of all these things. But before we get into the details, as you know, regular YouTube formalities, you know, would really appreciate it, if you take a few seconds to like the video, subscribe to the channel. You know, if you're new or for whatever reason you have not subscribed to the channel as yet, but you like the content that's being produced, you know, yeah, man, you know, a simple subscribe won't hurt, but it helps. Liking the video also helps, right? Free and simple ways for you to support the channel, but it goes a far way, right? So getting into the details now. Let's start with Romario Shepherd, right? So in the IPL, Romario Shepherd, you know, finally got his opportunity to bat in the IPL, right? It's been you can call it a struggle if you want to use that word. You know, he has not been really given much game time in the IPL this season. Not only him as a West Indian, Rob Mountford as well, you know, but Shepherd was finally given opportunity in the match between RCB, which is his team, and the Shanghai Super Kings, right? And boy, I tell you, he talk about taking an opportunity with both hands, right? So the RCB batted first, and they posted a total of 213 for 5 of their 20 overs, and that's on the back of a brilliant batting performance by Romario Shepherd. He scored 53 from just 14 balls. Yes, you heard that right. 53 from just 14 balls. And that was really what propelled RCB to the total of 213 for 5 of their 20 overs, right? When Shepherd came to the crease, the score was 157 for 5 with 17.4 overs gone, right? Which really means that there were only 14 balls remaining in the innings, right? 2.2 overs. And Shepherd faced, I think he faced majority. He faced 14 balls, and I think there was a no ball as well, right? So so from those 14 balls, Shepherd scored 53 runs, right? And that 53 of 14 is the joint fastest half century in IPL history, right? So I tell you, he was smashing the ball all over the place, right? Smashing boundaries. In fact, he scored 33 off one over, right? Smashing a few sixes and a boundary as well, right? So, you know, brilliant batting by Romario Shepherd, you know, in that one. So, like I said, RCB got to 213 for 5, and they were able to restrict Shanghai Super Kings to 211 for 5, right? So this was a nail biter. Went down to the last over, went down to the last ball. About Yash Dayal, he bowled a superb last over, you know, holding his nerve in the end to see RCB through to victory in the end over the Shanghai Super Kings, right? So brilliant performance by Shepherd, you know, and he was actually awarded the man of the match award, right? You know, for his brilliant batting, right? Because like I said, from 157 for 5 with just 2.2 overs remaining to 213 for 5 on the back of his half century. So a much deserved award for Shepherd, you know, and I'm glad to see that he took his opportunity. No, you know, definitely staking his claim to be a regular in the starting lineup for RCB going forward for the remainder of the tournament. So well done to Shepherd. Big up yourself, you know, great batting. You know, definitely enjoyed. I didn't watch the match live, but I saw the highlights, right? And it was really good to see, right? Other scores in the match for RCB. Virat Kohli, he scored 62 from 33. And Jacob Bettel, the young English batsman, he also scored 55 from 33, right? For RCB. And for CSK, you know, Ayush Matre, he scored 94 from 48. And Jadeja, Ravindra Jadeja, he made 77 not out from 45, but it wasn't enough to get them over the line, right? Shepherd, you know, he bowled one over and conceded 18 runs, right? So not the best bowling performance, but his batting was enough to get the team over the line and earn him the man of the match performance. So well done to Shepherd, well done to RCB. Right now, moving on to the women T20 Blaze. Right. So like I mentioned earlier, the second round of matches was played, and the matchups were between Jamaica and Trinidad. Windward Islands, they went off against Guyana, and Barbados and the Leeward Islands, they battled as well. Right. So in the match between Jamaica and Trinidad, Jamaica batted first in this one, and they were restricted to 65 for 9 of their 20 overs. Right. So brilliant bowling by Trinidad. Batting for Jamaica, it was Chanel Henry that top score. She made 18 from 19. Right. Bowling for Trinidad, you had Steffi Sugrim. She took 4 for 2. Yes, you heard that right. 4 wickets, only conceded 2 runs from her 4 overs. And also Shalini Samaru, she took 2 for 8 from her 4 overs, right? In restricting Jamaica to 65 for 9. Trinidad, in reply, they got to 66 for 5 of 19.2 overs. So it was not an easy chase for them, but you know, they eventually got over the line. You know, unfortunate for Jamaica, you know, the 65 runs was not enough. You know, if they had gotten maybe 10 more runs on the board, they might have actually pulled out a victory in this one. As you can tell, it was a low scoring match. But nevertheless, you know, congratulations to Trinidad on that victory. Batting for Trinidad was leading the way for Trinidad with the bat was Chanel Henry took 3 for 8 for Jamaica, right? And Jody and Morgan took 2 for 13 from her 4 overs, but that was not enough to restrict Trinidad to a score less than the 65 they made. Moving on to the next match now. As you can, well, I didn't take note of the top scores for Trinidad in the match. You know, my apologies. Right, moving on to the match now between the Windward Islands and Guyana. Right, so the Windward Islands batted first. This one was a shortened one. It was curtailed due to rain, so the match was reduced to a 13 over per team game. The Windward Islands batted first, and they got to 61 for 9 of their 13 overs, with Jafina Joseph top scoring with 17 from 23, and she was supported by Nerissa Crafton, who made 14 from 21, and captain Zeta James, who made 13 from 16, right? And so they were the main contributors for the Windward Islands in their batting innings, in their score of 61 for 9. Guyana, in reply, bowling for Guyana, we had Naya Lachman. She took 4 for 8 from 2 overs. And Ashmini Munisar, she took 2 for 10 from 3 overs, right? But batting for Guyana, they were able to get to 65 for 3, winning the match by 7 wickets on the back of brilliant batting from Liliana Grimond. She made 30 from 29 balls. And also Shabika Gajnabi, she made 26 not out from 31 balls. Right, so Guyana chased on the total 65 for 3 of 12 overs, so they had an over to spare. Right, so well done to Guyana. You know, brilliant batting and bowling. Right, you know, I think Guyana is shaping up to be the favorites of this one, the way it's looking so far after the first 2 rounds. But we'll see how the remainder of the matches go. Right, moving on to the next match, which was between Barbados and the Leeward Islands. Right, so Barbados batted first in this one, and they posted a total of 92 for 8 from their 20 overs. Right, leading the way for them with the bat was Nijani Cumberbatch. She made 23 from 30, 22 from 30, 22 not out. And Kaisia Knight, she made 14 of 24 balls, right? Bowling for the Leeward, it was Daronique Maynard. She took 2 for 16. And Shanisha Hector taking 2 for 15. They were the leading bowlers for the Leewards. in restricting Barbados to 92 for 8. The Leewards in reply, they chased down this total comfortably in the end, right? Getting to 95 for 4 after just 12.3 overs, right? So that's a very comprehensive victory in the end, right? With over 7.3 overs remaining, right? So that will definitely boost their net run rate as well, right? Batting for the Leewards, they were led by Hector, right? So this was definitely a woman of the match performance from Hector. She scored 40 from 24 balls, right? And she was supported by the Kiana Joseph, who's the West Indian opener. She made 34 from 34 as well, and they were the top scorers for the Leewards in chasing down this total of 92, getting to 95 for 4 of just 12.3 over. So a very comprehensive victory in the end for the Leeward Islands. Congratulations to them. Well done. And we'll see how the remainder of the tournament goes, right? And if they will be able to overcome Guyana, so from my standpoint, I have Guyana as favorite, but the Leewards might have something to say about that. But we'll see how it goes, right? But that's all I have for you in this video, viewers and subscribers. As always, thank you for watching. Do remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and definitely share your thoughts in the comment section. As always, thank you, and I will see you in the next video.